You found this video for a reason. I don't know what you're carrying right now, but I know you're here, and that tells me something about you already.
My name is James Calloway. I served 27 years in the United States Army, and the hardest battle I ever fought had nothing to do with war.
You're still somewhere else entirely. This is not a speech about how strong you need to be. This is just one man sitting across from you, telling you what he found on the other side of the hardest years of his life. I want to tell you about the silence first, because nobody ever does. When you serve, the noise is constant, not just the obvious noise, the machinery, the operations, the radio traffic, the controlled chaos of a unit moving with purpose. I mean the internal noise, the mission, always the mission. There is a profound comfort in having a mission. It tells you who you are every single morning before your feet hit the floor. It answers the questions that civilian life leaves dangling in the air like something unanswered. For 27 years, I never had to ask myself what I was for. Then, on Tuesday in October, I handed in my ID, walked through a gate for the last time, sat in my truck in a parking lot, and heard nothing. Not peace, not relief, nothing. I was 51 years old. I had served in 3 major combat theaters. I had led men through conditions that I still don't have the right words for. And sitting in that truck, in that ordinary parking lot, under a sky that had the nerve to be completely blue and calm, I felt more lost than I had ever felt downrange. That parking lot almost broke me. Not the war, not the loss, not the years. That parking lot. The months that followed were what I would call, looking back now, the second war. There was no enemy I could name. There was no terrain I could study. No brothers beside me. Because brothers scatter when the mission ends. Everyone goes home to their own version of the same silence. I found myself waking at 0400 out of pure habit, sitting in a kitchen that was too quiet, watching a clock that no longer meant anything. My wife, Patricia, 31 years married, a woman of extraordinary patience, she would find me some mornings just standing at the back window, not looking at anything, just standing. She never said much. She understood, in the way that military spouses understand things that they should never have to understand, that I was somewhere she couldn't follow. I started doing things I'm not proud of. I don't mean dramatic things. I mean quiet, slow erosion things. I stopped calling people back. I declined invitations. I sat in rooms and felt like I was watching everyone else through glass, present in body, somewhere else entirely in everything that actually mattered. I thought I was fine, which is, I've learned, the most dangerous thought a veteran can have. The turning point didn't arrive the way turning points do in the movies. There was no single moment of revelation, no dramatic confrontation, no rock bottom that announced itself clearly. It was a morning in February, cold. One of those mornings where the light comes in gray and flat, and the whole world looks like it hasn't decided yet whether it's going to commit to the day. I was in the garage. I had taken to spending time in the garage, organizing things that didn't need organizing, keeping my hands busy so my mind would quiet. And I found a box. Inside the box were letters from my men, some written to me, some written home and given to me for safekeeping, in the way that soldiers do when they want someone else to carry the weight of the words they can't say out loud. And underneath the letters, a photograph. taken somewhere I won't name, on a day I will never forget, of 6 men who had every reason to fall apart and had chosen, without a single word of discussion, not to. I sat down on the concrete floor of that garage in February with that photograph in my hands, and something cracked open inside me. Not broke, cracked open. There is a difference. I cried, not the polite kind, not the kind you manage and control and recover from quickly, the kind that comes from somewhere deep in the infrastructure of who you are, the kind that shakes the whole building.
"27 years of mission and movement and forward motion came out of me on that garage floor, and for the first time in months, maybe years, I felt something that wasn't numbness. I felt like a human being. What I found after that morning took time. I want to be honest about the time, because I think we do each other a disservice when we skip over it. It took months of mornings. It took a counselor, a good one, a veteran himself, who didn't try to fix me, but simply sat with me and let the silence be something other than a weapon. It took long drives with no destination. It took calling brothers I had let go quiet and saying nothing more than, "I've been thinking about you." It took Patricia, who never once asked me to be who I used to be, who somehow understood that what was coming out of me was not weakness, but excavation. I found, slowly, that the discipline I had spent a lifetime building was not the enemy of peace. I thought those two things lived on opposite sides of some line. I thought letting go of the structure meant losing the only identity I had. But what I found, what became clear to me like visibility returning after a long fog, was that the discipline was never about the Army. It was about me. The Army gave it a shape and a language and a uniform, but that quality, that ability to rise, to move, to function when everything inside says stop, that was mine before I ever enlisted, and it was mine still, standing in a garage in February with a photograph of 6 brothers who had given me something no discharge paper could ever take back. I finally saw that the strongest thing I had ever done was not anything I did in uniform. It was deciding on a cold concrete floor that I still had something worth showing up for. I want to tell you about my life now because I think it's important that this story has a now. I wake up most mornings around 6, not 0400 anymore. I gave myself permission, slowly, to let go of what the mission no longer needed. I make coffee, Rio coffee, the kind Patricia has been trying to get me to appreciate for 30 years, and I finally do. I sit on the back porch of the house we've had since the kids were small, and I watch whatever the morning decides to be. Some mornings it's extraordinary. Some mornings it's just a yard and a sky. Both are enough. I volunteer twice a week at a center for veterans in transition, men and women who are right where I was, standing in that parking lot, hearing nothing. I don't lecture them. I don't give them steps or frameworks or systems. I just sit with them. I tell them about the garage. I tell them about the photograph. I tell them that the silence there inside right now is not the whole story. It's just the part of the story where the next chapter hasn't started speaking yet. I watch dogs in the morning sometimes. We have one now, a retriever named Sullivan, who has absolutely no concept of yesterday and even less interest in tomorrow, and I have decided he is one of the wisest creatures I have ever shared space with. I laugh more than I have in years.
That is not a small thing. Here's what I want to leave you with, and I'll keep it short because the best things usually are. The human spirit does not have a discharge date. Whatever you've been through, and I know I don't know what that is really, whatever you're carrying, whatever version of that parking lot or that garage you're living inside right now, I want you to know that the story is not over at the hard part. It never is. The hard part is just where most people stop reading. The strongest soldiers I ever served with were not the ones who never broke. They were the ones who broke quietly, in private, and then got up and said nothing about it and kept moving. Not because they were suppressing something, but because they understood in their bones that the breaking was part of the becoming. You were not behind. You were not too late. You were not too damaged or too far gone or too old or too tired. You are right now exactly where the next version of you begins. I'm grateful you spent this time with me. I don't know your name, but I know something about you. I know you're the kind of person who goes looking for something real. And I genuinely hope that somewhere in what I've shared today, you heard something that felt like your own story looking back at you. Take care of yourself. Do it like it matters, because it does.